Hello and welcome to another episode of Walking with Walfinch. Today I'm possibly the most excited because we have Marcelo here, who is the managing director and one of our founding franchisees of Walfinch East Barnet. Welcome, Marcelo. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Amrit. Thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
So I'm so excited. It's the first time we've had one of our franchisees on the show. So
yeah, wow, yeah. It's scary, but yeah.
So Marcelo, you were maybe, I don't know, the fourth franchisee that we took on, or
yeah, it was
really,
one of
early doors.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was kind of one of the first ones. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and your history and where you're from and everything. Just dig in a bit.
Wow. So basically, I'm originally from Brazil. I studied market back home, and then for like 25 years now, I've been living in the UK. Started my journey in the UK working in the hospitality industry, and after 15 years I look at myself, said, okay, that's what I really want to do for the rest of my life. And I was like, wow, I don't think so. Waking up very early mornings and kind of getting back home 1 o'clock in the morning, like long hours. I was like, so I took a time and looked inside of myself and said what's my quality, what I could be doing, how can I expand these, qualities that I have into something else. I definitely don't want to kind of do anything related to the industry, kind of opening doors very early, closing doors very late, and paying like really high premiums to start something. So, after reflecting, and studying a little bit the marketing and the market across, I came across care. And I thought that, well, that's something that I can do. I think about a lot of qualities that tick a lot of boxes, into care, and here I am today after 5 years into care industry.
Yeah, I mean, and you're just about to get to your 5-year mark, right?
That's right. Yeah.
This summer?
This summer, yes.
Amazing.
This summer, in June.
And we'll be high-fiving, having a nice lunch and signing up another 5 years. So
looking forward to it.
Very exciting.
Yes.
And so how has it been? I mean, you had no idea about care when we met. You'd not sort of worked in care previously.
Yeah.
The UK is not your home country.
Yep.
How did that feel?
Well, it was very scary initially. Can't lie to you, but it was very exciting as well. You start a new venture and step in a new industry. It's an industry kind of very fulfilling. I would say being able to give back to the community and help others. It's something that's I think that's a lot. I kind of identify myself a lot into that, and I think that was was a decision breaker for me. I've been learning a lot for the last 5 years. I've been learning, meeting new people, learning new skills, and it has been a wonderful journey so far.
Yeah, and for me too, actually, I must say, it's really interesting working with a franchisee that is so engaged. You come to everything, all the workshops, all the day events. We've got something happening in a couple of weeks, and all of that. And I think, I was with Scott Greenberg, who is the author of The Wealthy Franchisee.
Yeah,
and he was on the podcast in Phoenix about years ago, and what he said to me was, in the end, a good quality, successful franchisee is somebody that follows the system, and that's right. And that is the fundamental thing. I mean, you've gone from zero to £200,000 a month, within 5 years, which is amazing, right? And I'd love to hear about that journey. I mean, that's not been easy.
Yeah,
been a lot of work.
Absolutely.
You're on the phone. You're on the phone. Caught up with you today. So tell me, what's been the hardest part of that journey?
Well, I think when you first start and starting a business from scratch, it's tricky, it's difficult because you don't really know where to go to. But then, if you follow the procedures, if you follow all the support that the support that Walfinch gives to you, and follow the book, you get there eventually. It takes time, step by step. But once you break through the barrier, it's just everything starts to follow like natural. You've been talking a lot about networking. And that's something that's very, very important in this industry. You need to kind of go out, meet people, make yourself know, meeting other professionals, and just be part of the community. You know, like make yourself heard, and things gonna fall into place eventually, because it's a growing industry. There is more and more people with needs out there, and people like us make the difference in society.
And that is so interesting, and I think there's so much there. I think that you're so right that this is a people business, right? It's and it's. I often talk about how care businesses are propped up by entrepreneurs like you. That it's not something that's run by the government. It's run by individuals like yourself who want to drive and make a difference, right?
That's right.
And that networking piece is super important. I know that you do a lot, with BNI, and you're just sort of out and about and you build relationships. And how have you found that that's attributed to your success?
Well, I'm always looking to kind of new ways how to network, and going even out into the high streets, and just meeting local business people is kind of is a great way to network already. Because when you learn in our industry, it's not like we have a shop with a front where people pass by and see you there. They don't really know what's they about. So if you go out and shake hands, talk to everybody, tell them what you're doing and how you might be able to help them. When they come across someone who might need this sort of support, you become into their minds straight away. So it's very important to go out and just meet as many people as you possibly can.
Wonderful. And I think that's so interesting, because I think back to when I was a franchisee myself in home care, and that was half my day. Just going out and high-fiving people. Well, that was sometimes it was even the care workers. It was just sort of you tag team between that. And what's one of the things that you've learned about yourself? Because I know that you do a lot of study. Actually, you read books, you listen to podcasts. I've noticed about yourself, and you've really tried to upskill yourself. And if you were to say that a few things there that you've really learned, that you've learned about yourself that weren't there before, what would they be?
Well, self-development is very important, especially when you step into a new industry. You need to kind of grow, not only as a kind of in the business, but also in your mind, intellectually. You need to keep learning, on daily basis, and that's what actually one of our philosophies in Walfinch Barnet as well. We fully support our team to carry on the self-development. We give them all the tools, all the support they can. At the moment, you got probably about 12 of our cares that are working towards the level 2. We got like our manager who's working towards a level 7. So it's kind of it's great to see a team that's united and always looking forward and how they can improve and learn more, and just growing on a daily basis.
I mean, and that is really interesting. That kind of continual growth. I think is. I remember, was it 3 years ago, our annual conference, we talked about 1% change. And I think you really lived that. It's not an easy feat to go from 0 to 200k a month. And I think that you need to be somebody that is willing to put a shift in, do the graveyard shift, and just keep on changing and driving 1% a day. So talk to me about home care as a business. I mean, it's got its similarities to restaurants and hospitality, because you're sort of dealing with a similar number of staff and that kind of hourly paid worker and so on. How have you found that leadership part of it?
Well, so basically, like one kind of in my previous job role, I was kind of managing large teams and working with people directly, and looking after clients, customers as well. So that's the kind of the skills I managed to take from my previous industry and bring it to care. On daily basis, I'm kind of constantly dealing with people, all clients, all family members, all carers, all my team, the office team. So the people skills is something that luckily I developed in my previous job, but I'm still kind of understanding and growing on daily basis in this new setting. And it's very important. It's very important to be able to have compassion, have the understanding, and be able to hear listening is the most important thing in this industry. You know, like before you talk, you need to listen to them to understand exactly what they need, understand what your team needs, and how you might be able to support them best in the best way as possible.
That's really lovely, actually, and I think that you know, my thing while you're talking about, I was just thinking about so many times over the last few years where you picked up the phone to me and said, "Hey, Amrit, you know, I've got this issue. How you know, what do you think? How should we deal with this?" And what's always struck me with that is that you've got this real willingness to do the right thing by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes doing the right thing by yourself means doing the wrong thing for yourself.
Yeah.
But you know, but it's the right thing for the business. It's the right thing for the staff. And you know, what would you think that if I was a care worker, why should I come and work for Marcelo? What's different about you to other home care operators? And, you know, what do you think kind of is your kind of X factor there?
Oh, well, I'm kind of quite proud to say that actually. Actually, we have about like nearly 70 cares in our team today.
Nice.
So it's a lot of people to manage.
Yeah.
And we have probably good number there that's been with us since we started.
Really?
We've been, yeah. So you know, I like to believe that if they still there is because we take good care of them.
Yeah.
And my philosophy is like kind of I like to look after my staff as much as look after my clients. So I'm always on the other side of the phone, the other side of the line, you know, to help them. You know, I know that I could be putting myself in trouble into doing this, but I like to know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, I like to be there to support them, and you know, I just try to, you know, be present and help them in the best way as possible. So I think that makes a difference when they work for somebody who they don't really know who their boss is. They don't know how to get something done. There's no really, you know, people's approach is, and that's makes the whole difference. People feel valued when you deal with them directly. You know, like, and they appreciate that very much. So I think that's make the difference and make them stay. And knowing that they have the support they offer them as well, like in terms of, like we said, the self-development. So they can see that, you know, there's a place they can work and there is a possibility to grow.
That's wonderful. I think that, you know, and what I'm really hearing there is that you take the time to get to know your staff. I had a franchisee that called me yesterday about an issue that they were having, and we ended up just spending a bit of time on the phone. We were talking about John Maxwell's book, 5 Levels of Leadership. I remember when you first started, we did a whole workshop on
That's
that.
right, yeah.
And it was, I had a broken toe at the time. I was doing a workshop with one leg. The show must go on. But you know, for me, I think really hearing what you're saying there of getting to know people, having that open door policy, and just being present. And you're not some faceless corporation. You're Marcelo, right? You know,
That's right. Yeah.
You're there. You're available to them.
Yeah.
That's really, I think, just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, Marcelo, what do you do for yourself? You know, as a really busy entrepreneur, you are a father, a husband, a business owner. You know, what do you do for you? Like, how do you, you know, switch off? How do you relax? You know, I know that you're
keeping my sanity.
Yeah, you know, but it's true, right? I know you're also very athletic and a sportsman. But so, what sort of things do you do for yourself?
Well, I'm kind of I'm an early riser. I kind of wake up quite early. To be honest with you, like by 5 o'clock I'm already awake.
Nice.
So yeah,
5 o'clock. Gosh.
Yeah. So the best thing for me is to, you know, I like to meditate. So I do my meditation and reading in the morning, and then I hit the gym.
Amazing.
So that means when it's 8 o'clock, I'm already in the office and I'm already kind of done, you know, part of my reading and you know, exercising. And that's kind of give me the fresh start for the day, you know, like give me the motivation, the energy to come and kind of give the motivation to my team and the support they need. Yeah. You know, so it's a great way. And also just going for walks in place like this, you know, it's beautiful. I love this part of London, you know, like it's great to be able to come to a place like this and just go for a walk and be by nature, you know, like I love being by nature. So it's that's what I do, you know, to keep fit and, you know, keep on track.
I think, and how have you found the whole kind of wellness tilt? I mean, I know that it's actually quite personal to you, really. You've been on a whole wellness journey since I've known you. You know, marathons and so on. And I think, you know, talking about that with our service users, our clients, carers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's an interesting piece, really, isn't it? When you start talking about it?
Absolutely. Kind of, you always looking ways how to support our clients and make them thrive in their lives.
Yeah.
Even though they kind of still, some of them, their mobility, might have mobility issues or their conditions might be difficult, but there is always how to support them and making them their day more exciting, make the difference. How can you make kind of their mobility, their fitness? You know, how can you help them improving that?
Yeah.
You know, and it's that's why you're part of so many different groups in our community, so we can offer that kind of support to them as well. And actually, they love it.
Yeah.
You know, they love it, and actually, that's what makes the difference for Walfinch, Barnet. You know, like we have so many referrals coming from our own clients, passing on to their friends, telling them about all the exciting things they do with us during the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just making a difference on their daily basis. Get them out of their routine, you know, like, and making them realize, you know, they're still alive. There's still so much they can do with their lives.
And
that's
that
what
thriving piece, right?
absolutely,
Not just
yeah,
surviving.
absolutely. So this is all about us, you know. That's the approach you have, and you know, family members love to hear that. You know, they love it to know that, you know, mom and dad is being active. They doing things, you know, outside, not just sitting down on the sofa and watching telly all day, you know, that kind of stuff. And family members usually don't have the time to entertain the beloved ones.
Yeah.
But then knowing that someone like us is out there and are able to support them, is give them the peace of mind.
Yeah.
And that's what they want.
Yeah. I totally, you've got hairs at the back of my neck standing, you know, I feel so sort of enthused by that.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you today was to talk about that cultural background, because, you know, I don't think it's an accident that you've gone from this wonderful culture that you've got back home in Brazil, this very family orientated, to service industry, then to care, you know, and you're directly providing that support. I mean, do you sort of draw parallels there? Do you feel like it might be, you know, that there are some cultural connectivity there for you?
I do, actually. I do. Kind of, I'm always have this very kind of friendly approach into things, you know, like. And in care, there is a lot of people. There is a lot of lonely people out there. There is a lot of people that kind of all they need is someone to come and give them the support, giving them just to listen to them, and be kind to them. You know, like, and I think being like a Latino, you know, like it gives kind of pass the energy around somehow. You know, like kind of. Perhaps, you know, like it's the way how also been brought up. I had I started to work very early in my father's business, and I started kind of working as a salesperson in his shop.
I believe that.
So I always been kind of educated in terms of how to look after our clients, how to look after our staff, and taking care of them and listening to them. And I think kind of sympathizing with people's problem. It's kind of it's a great skill to have, you know, because that's what the people want sometimes. They just want to be heard.
And that is so interesting. So what did your father's business do?
My father used to have like a construction shop.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And so. That's really interesting, because you've gone back and forth to Brazil a lot.
Well, I try to go every year. You know, like it's just here is just I don't my family, my son, my wife and my son. We don't have any other family member here. You know, I built. So I have some friends here that take like a family as well. But I need to go back and see mom and dad. You know, make sure looking to spend time with them is very important. So that's the kind of thing that I try to do every year. These ones, and they also come here to visit sometimes. Which is great.
And it's a really lovely thing, I think. And actually, when I think about Indian culture and Latino culture, there's a lot of kind of similarities there.
There is, we're very family oriented, I would say. You know, like we have a lot of Indian carers in our team, and you know, I love work with them. We kind of all our clients highly speak about our carers. You know, like, and we can see how much passion and love they put into work, and they. You know, they look after our clients like their own beloved ones, and which is great. You know, like that's what you want, right? Exactly. So they make my life like easier. You know, in terms of training and support. You know, like they know half of the stuff. You
Yeah.
know, they know how to care and how to look after someone, which is great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what about your son? He was a tiny little boy, came into the West Hampstead office very briefly when
Yeah,
we first started.
that's right. Yeah, well,
He's what, 16 now?
He's 16, yeah, you're right, yeah. So he was going through that transition. It was, I think when we started, it was just kind of COVID time. So there was no school at the time. He was just ending his primary school. So it was a transition time for him. It was very challenging for him at the time because he was starting secondary school with COVID, no school, this and that. Now he's actually at home. I was just on the phone with him a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's preparing for his GCSE.
Very nice.
So he's about to end. He's another stage of his life and gonna be, preparing for his A-levels in the future. So time is flying. Yeah, going really fast.
What does he want to do longer term?
Well, he's want to do something related to sports. He's always been very into sports as well. I think perhaps he got this from mom and dad. And he loves his sports life. I think he's still a lot of. He needs to make some decisions, but I think it's definitely something related to sports.
Yeah. Cool. And so, Marcelo, I usually end these things talking about advice that you give other business owners. So if you had to give somebody one piece of advice to say, on your journey from 0 to $1 million, this is the one thing I would really focus on, what would it be?
Well, I think you need to listen to your heart. I think you need to, reflect, look inside yourself, and see how you can make a difference in the world. There is so many people in need of help out there. There is a lot of lonely people, as I said before, and we need to contribute back, and in whatever way you can, whatever skills you have, and try to support, just to have like a community that's kind of more compassionate with each other, more respectful, more kind.
Yeah.
So I think that's how the world is to do at this present time. No, the whole world should be doing this right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I
truly.
think like so much fighting, war, discussion, so much things going on, and it's time for us to stop and be kinder to each other.
Yeah.
Right? And how can you do that?
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. What a great place to end, and a moment to reflect. And I just want to say huge congratulations for everything that you've done.
Yeah.
And everything you're about to go and do.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to see what the next 5 years.
I'm excited as well.
Until next time.
Thank you.
And that is a wrap. Another episode of Walking with Walfinch, our first with a franchisee. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed filming. Thank you for tuning in.